Hey, Leif. Of course, this is for the girls too. It's always about you girls and trying to get communication with your mom because she knows a lot of things that will tell you I'm not as bad as I seem, even though some things were true, some things weren't, some things were halfway true. But I will pay each of you to talk. I'll pay you ahead of time, at least one time per week, and the second time, if you will all talk, I could probably pay 4 or 5 times. Pretty soon I could pay it all. I will be motivated and have a reason to live. If I don't have a sword of Damocles hanging over my head anymore, then I can live. I'll be able to pay it off. I'll be more productive. I want to offer you all a place, free rent, and utilities paid. The lease is paid ahead of time. I've got proof of everything I say. We could keep space, and then if y'all want to talk later, I would love that. I love to go to counseling in a parallel fashion, whatever. But to not have anybody who's willing to love you, who does love you, is willing to die for you and do anything for you, go to prison for you, die, and, give their last for you. You can't afford to be without that person if it's not hard to deal with that person, and it's not. I have drastically changed. I'm not the person I was, and that's literal. I've done a lot of things to prove this. I've risked my life, saved lives, given my last, taken at least 60, I estimate 60 people into my home since I moved there, since May 2018. And most of the time since I've seen you girls, I've been on the run, or it was so bad that I was so haunted that I thought that I had a warrant 2.5 years when I didn't have one. And anyway, I'm contacting to tell Leif, I'm going to, you should get a hold of your attorney and trust him to give you some stuff. That's the only way I know how to get something to you. And I have a couple things for you. I don't want to give it all, but I don't even know if you got the 6 or 7 phones and tablet that I sent to you. And they were all in excellent shape. Most of them were new or close, and all of them except one was unlocked. I sent a few data plans too, and those were temporary because I couldn't communicate with you. If I could communicate, it would make the things that I could give you better. Also, I've got a couple of phones for each of you and 2 data plans, and if we can talk, I will get you each an unlimited plan that should have at least 60 gigs of high-speed data, and the other plan should have unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of data. And I will make both phones accessible to public Comcast Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspots if you're near them, and you can keep the mobile data turned off and access to public Wi-Fi hotspots free and other ones. And if you're in a place that's populated with a lot of hotspots, you can conserve your mobile data. And also, I want to sell the phones. If you guys don't want the phones that I have handled because you don't trust me, well, that's too bad, but we can do that. We can get you all some phones, and I kind of want to sell the ones I have anyway, because even though a couple of them I'd like to set up for you, I don't know if they have enough battery, to last at least a couple of years each. I want them to have over 90%, although people say 80% is feasible. I don't think 80% would be a phone that would keep a charge, too many times for a full day. So I have like a OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren edition. I'm hoping to get at least 300 or more out of it. It's in excellent shape, and I can sell it off as if it's open box or as if it's over 90-95% life expectancy. And a 2022 Moto Edge that may sell for a decent price, I don't know. And a Samsung A53. I'm trying to use AccuBattery and a couple other testing programs to see if any of these have quite a bit of battery. There are certain phones that I can get for y'all brand new, but if I do, I'd like to set them up because I'm really good at that, but you all can do it if you want. But if you don't trust me, there's ways you can confirm that your phone doesn't have hacking tools. I wouldn't do that anyway. That's sacrilegious, man. Those things eat up data and battery. I uninstall and disable a lot of unnecessary apps, and I only install a few of them. Like, I think I'm going to start trying to go without installing Facebook and Facebook Messenger, because when I do install it, I restrict the background data and battery access, and you can send messages on the browser version of Facebook now. If you go to upper right corner on Google Chrome and the options, if you select desktop version, it makes Facebook believe your phone is a computer. And I'm not sure, but I believe you may be able to use all operations or functions on Facebook browser without needing the app, like dating and all that. So there's no real need to have the app or the Messenger app. I usually install some things like Google Photos, Google Keep for notes, a Text Now app, although I often restrict background data and battery access. But I'm thinking if I buy you all brand new phones, it's like there's certain ones that are available here and there. Like, I wouldn't mind getting you a 2021 phone as your backup. So I've seen some 2021 5G Moto Stylus, the version with 5,000 battery. Those are pretty good. I got one of those free and tried to give it to y'all when I got it. It was worth 400. I scraped up 57. It was supposed to be free. When Boost went to 3G, that's why I lost the number 260-312-8500. Now my number is 219-955-3929, 219-955-3929, or 260-246-1480. Or you can try 260-224-2757, or 260-246-4948. Those four numbers should be good for a while. Also, I'd like to get you all a phone that's unused, unopened, manufactured in the last 2 years, with dual SIM card capability and certain specs, and y'all can pick out. But I want them to have at least IP67 water and dust and water prevention, ingress protection, and MIL STD810 shock protection, mil spec, and at least 2.0 or 2.3 gigahertz processing speed or higher on at least 4 of the cores, and the other cores at least 1.8 or 2.0, and preferably 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, but the backup maybe 4. That 2021 5G Moto Stylus operates well for 4 gigs of RAM, and I always set my phones up very efficient, so 3 gigs of RAM will act like 4 gigs the way I set it up, and the battery will usually last 15-20% longer, and the life of the phone lasts longer because I use a old shabby phone for a side phone at night and turn off the regular phone, extend the life of it. And if y'all will move in, I'll give you free room and board, utilities. I've got proof the lease is paid through the year until 2026, and I've sent that in the email addresses I made for y'all. I made about 3 years ago, I think. There's a lot of info. You can go in and search in the search bar in emails to see things like tablets I sent you or stuff, offers, and begging you to come up here, begging you to talk. And if you all think I was any kind of threat, I'd be glad to expose myself, but there's not going to be anything to expose except a pretty damn good person. Not my past, but what I've done since. And there are reasons I wasn't able to be around. I did not refuse to be around. I didn't want to not be around. It drove me nuts. It wasn't fair. It was draconian. And sometimes I've even, no matter how good I've gotten, a person can snap, especially when they've been oppressed by a system. Who would blame a slave for rebellion against the system, even though they did something horrible, like kill some white kids? That was awful, but that was not their fault, or the slaves who were enduring the torment. When you are tormented by a tormentor who starts it and who's wrong, then that person is responsible for whatever happens. Now, I never do anything to you guys or even your mom or the people that I've damaged before that I shouldn't have. You know, not even my first wife, and she deserved a lot of things. She was a bad person. But I might snap on others, and I don't want to do that. I would actually like to sit and talk and make some agreements. It would be better to have me in your life for you and your kids also.